And we're back.
Here we are again.
Lost its missiles. Old news.
It was an accounting error.
It's always an accounting error.
You didn't lose them, did you?
How'd you figure that out, Thornton? If you're a fucking detective.
What happened in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, it's too political for me. Too geopolitical.
Yeah, it's very subtle right now.
I'm getting lots of interference.
Reading you loud and clear.
Oh.
Where can I find Shaheed?
It's a little more
That
complicated
dialogue
than that.
wheel's
It's gonna require
topical
some
now after the
groundwork
Fallout
to get
reveal.
Yeah, that's
Finding
they're
Shaheed
not
is your
taking this
primary
game's
objective.
tack on that.
Trouble is,
I think the dialogue wheel works a lot better in a game like this than in like a full open world thing.
Arms dealer Nasr
Yeah.
is believed to have sold the missiles to Shaheed, and he's currently operating in Saudi Arabia. If you can intercept him, maybe he can tell you where Shaheed is, or guide you to the
Still
missiles.
giving me a kind of Tom Clancy vibe.
We also tracked down
Yeah, I
locations
think that's
of information
intentional.
Shaheed used in the past.
Right now, Westridge is just going through the synopses of the next 3 missions that you can do.
Thirdly,
You only need to do 2 of them to get the next story mission.
Can you elect to do all 3?
Yeah, and we're gonna
And
do that,
Can
obviously.
you do them in any order then?
why not send
Yeah.
troops and
I like that.
We need to make sure the missiles aren't ours.
So,
Our aerial assault was
that's
one of the
basically how
shortest
every
flights
hub
in history.
is, and that's basically the game's flow, is that you go to different hubs, and then there's usually 3 missions in each hub that leads to a story mission, and then sometimes there's 3 missions again. That's basically how the gameplay flows.
I prefer this sort of in-arc narrative
anything beyond the
where
weapons locker?
we're following the action as it occurs rather than here's the bad guy, go get him.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems straightforward here in Saudi Arabia because there's a terrorist who shot a missile at a plane, and we're gonna go get that terrorist, but
It's never that simple.
no. And we already have hints in that direction, you know.
Well, our protagonist certainly suspects
So
it.
if I need a resupply,
Yeah.
I need to steal
Well,
money.
if you hadn't done the optional quest with Parker, then you probably wouldn't have any clue yet.
That's a good example of the branching.
Yeah.
Weapons locker you already found. Help yourself to what's inside. Just be sure to choose the ammo and armor you think suits the mission. When you're ready
Just
to
be
head
sure
out,
to make your own
use the front
choices.
door.
Yeah.
Missions for the main terminal.
There
I
is
want you
some agency in this game, but they kind of hammer it in sometimes.
I order you to do what you want.
Oh, is that
And he just fucking turns his feed off.
Yeah,
home?
looks like he's being captured with an Xbox One down there.
So every hub has a safe house like
I
this.
forgot about the beer.
It has been a
That's
little while since
perfect.
we recorded.
Hey, look. Darcy photoshopped our faces into a still frame of a bike.
Oh wow,
That's, yeah.
See, Darcy's not
that's
all
pretty
bad.
neat. I like that. That's pretty neat. I wasn't expecting that at all. In terms, I haven't seen a game really do that. That's an in-world object like that.
You always get that one, and then there's some more that are optional based on how you did the tutorial chapter.
That's novel. I like that.
Yeah, it's these certificates on the wall. You only get these if you do each optional
Agent
mission.
Darcy sent me this for acing the training course.
Is that a mushroom
Spell my
cloud?
name, Thornton.
Yeah.
That's appropriate, I guess. It's
And
one
there's
of
a tank
America's.
on this one.
It's just one of America's great achievements.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
tanks, the atomic bomb.
This is what America's known for. And
It's just
so here's
good
the
for-
safe house computer. You can read emails here. They can sometimes have attachments, which can include equipment and money. I'm just giving everybody a chance to pause and read if they want to
Down-
pause and read.
Where did you download those funds to?
It's like I don't know. It's some kind of slush fund.
Oh, so you have to accept it in whatever. Video games.
Yeah. So in some of the emails, you can reply to them, and you have the same stances option.
Okay.
Here with these replies, and in the same way, if you know who you're talking to and you know what stance they prefer, you'll get a relationship bonus or a relationship negative.
It's good mileage out of the conversation system.
Yeah. Here's Darcy. He is talking about the specifics of one of the 3 missions you can do.
Handler, but not a nanny.
Yeah. And this one is talking about the Clearinghouse. The Clearinghouse is a black market internet weapons dealership on the Darknet, presumably.
Capitalism beats racism and xenophobia. That's pretty good.
And this is where you acquire all your weapons upgrades, all your equipment upgrades. Just going to show off a little bit of this stuff. The attachments really provide a lot of stat differences. You can get bonuses in some things, negatives in others. And then, of course, there's different armor. There's heavier armor for people who want to do shootouts, and there's lighter armor for people who want to stealth around. And there's also attachments that go into the armor. And those can reduce cooldowns. They have a bunch of different effects. So the equipment is pretty important, and it has a big influence on your build.
I like the variety. I know it's not an RPG, but I appreciate big loadouts like this.
Throughout the game, you'll get access to different weapons dealers, and they'll like friend you on Clearinghouse, and you'll get access to their inventories. So depending on what you do, you might deny yourself access to certain equipment. There's also intel here, and that has an effect on each mission if you buy it beforehand. We're going to be doing the airfield, so I'll grab that a little later.
With that Clearinghouse stuff, like how it applies to the story, does it do the choices that would suit your play, the speech choices that would suit your play style? Does that tend to favor the Clearinghouse? So, like, if you're brusque with people, you get cut off from the sneaking gear, but you get more assault wear and that sort of stuff?
I'd say it's more generalized than that. It's more like if you kill more people, then they won't be alive to sell you things.
Oh, okay.
The agency made me give this to you. What a guy.
I don't know why, but it's always the sassy characters in these games that I like the most.
That was needlessly hidden.
That's why I walked up to the other one of these in the house.
Yeah, the one that was very, very clear, like, oh, wow.
They look exactly the same. Anyway, I'm going to put a silencer on my pistol, obviously.
Pretty good.
And then there's a red dot sight.
I kind of miss the classic silencer as it looks here in older films. New ones are always smooth and match the profile of the gun barrel.
Yeah, I think it's more realistic, actually, but I don't know.
The newer ones are more realistic to what they're building now, but the old one has a kind of charm to it and makes it more visually distinct.
I don't buy or use a lot of gadgets. I find I don't need them very much.
Would you say the gadgets more just complement play, or is it like...
Yeah, they're just little things that you can use in a pinch. There's like, a portable health up, and there's like grenades and stuff. There's the radio mimic, but I don't use them for much.
I often find myself not knowing how to use gear like that in something like Splinter Cell and stick mainly to just the core gameplay.
Hope you like that circle wipe. You're going to be seeing a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, I just go through the dossiers here real quick because I know there's something that you get in the dialogue for this mission for being... it's for reading your handler's dossier.
Halbeck is definitely not a reference to Halliburton.
No, it would never be that. And Al-Samad is definitely not Al-Qaeda.
It's on the nose, and I like that. I like that they didn't just completely make up something else. But I do understand why they don't want it to be in real world either.
Well, the U.S. military actually takes exception to some of those types of things.
Yeah, I've heard about that too.
Yeah, so there's a dossier one here, and then there's a mission map. I don't think I ever use mission maps. And then there's a sniper rifle dead drop, and what that does is there's a sniper rifle that's just in one place, and you can use it to take out a few guys, but I didn't bother with that.
I feel that wouldn't be
What do you think?
advantageous to stealth.
Nah, I mean it makes things a little easier in one place, but
So I've
I
heard,
like
everyone
this.
on
I like the
alert.
stealth challenge, so
Thinking about a career as a stalker.
isn't that what a handler is?
Some truth to that.
You used to be with the National Security.
I can't tell if this is in the Uncanny Valley or not.
But it
It's
didn't work out so well.
it's kind of in that weird Xbox 360
So
era.
you signed on to Alpha Protocol?
Like things are getting more realistic, but they're not quite there yet.
Talking to you now.
it's okay unless I scrutinize it, I guess. Like it works on the fly, except for that beard, that very clearly fake
Yeah.
beard.
I like to think that it is fake in the
It-
universe.
It is. You can see where it connects to the hat. Like it's.
Safe when he travels.
He thinks he's being really clever with that. And it really helps with his rookie personality.
His personal bodyguards.
It's like you're stealthing, so there's no need to hide your face in the first place. Everybody's like, why is he wearing that beard?
Well, I'll say this: there are missions later on
Probably nothing
that
less
are
than Jack's
just
window, right?
conversations.
If you infiltrate the airfield, Shaheed
That's
uses,
exciting, but I'm boring.
you may have more practical
It's
advice.
actually awesome because they're really important, and sometimes the decisions you make during conversations are more important than the decisions you make
As long as
during
you're backing
missions.
me up, I think I'll be in good hands.
That's very optimistic of you, Agent
Oh,
Thornton.
this handler agent
But I
banter
appreciate
is
the trust.
very familiar from a lot of different television stuff.
Yeah, it's iconic of the genre, I think.
This assignment with Shaheed is probably the biggest one I've been involved in.
What other assignments have you been on?
Which do you prefer, like the old crotchety, like
It's how we found out that
weathered handler, or like the sexy handler?
Although it was
I think I
very
prefer the old crotchety handler, but only because of that sass factor that I was talking about earlier. He's going to give the spy some hard times, and that appeals to me.
If that happens, it might be years before
I
he
think
starts.
I prefer that too. I kind of like the when you get a character that's
All
uh,
right, Mike.
like adversarial.
The
So
missiles are more
Falco.
dangerous.
sorry, yeah, exactly.
What I don't understand
I was
is
having
how
a
the United
Falco
States
versus
wants this
Slippy
operation
debate
secret.
on
Don't they want
in
Shaheed
Skype.
captured?
how what is there to debate?
I really don't know. The-
Slippy's obviously better.
Missiles were involved in things.
So we're cleaning up the house.
That's basically what they thought, but
I can't agree with that stance at all.
no. Falco is awesome. It was the 90s, and I was 10, so obviously the character with more attitude was more fun to me.
Slippy is annoying no matter what.
Well, you never want to have the high-pitched character that needs saving all the time.
That yeah, there you go.
That's not my fault. The CIA, the NSA.
There's going to be argument in the thread over this now.
I hope so. I hope it's also very clear cut.
Gets buried and renamed.
Renamed to Beta or
I don't
Gamma
think
protocol.
No clue.
it's ever going to be clear-cut with arguments of this nature.
Whenever it's in danger of being exposed, it closes shop and a new one opens up.
Interesting. I guess that's good to know. Wonder if I'd get a new name if Alpha Protocol shut down.
I don't know.
So yeah, we're kind
On
of
a
getting
tombstone.
filled in a little bit on the Alpha Protocol shutting down and reopening
Seems like a big
thing,
assignment for a
just
new
in case
hire.
we didn't
Must have
get
been other
the conversation with Parker, because it's possible you didn't.
But the
So the
recommendation
extra
based on
material
her was
rarely
intended.
gives you that much.
Although
It's
when I
more
made my
for
recommendation,
building the
it
world.
wasn't about Shaheed.
Yeah, you get more
It was about the
details in
larger mission.
Parker's conversation about this than you get here, because Parker's way more informed on the subject than Mina is.
Headquarters
But you
don't
wouldn't
say
miss
hi
out
to
on it.
Neanderthal.
No, you
But
would
I always
know
want to be your
because
best
it's
mate.
I'll take
it's
that
something you
as a
should know.
You should.
So you would at least know the
Keep it like
basics.
Darcy, though. He has family issues that prevent him from going. Notably, his father.
Darcy is having
According to your dossier,
daddy
your family
issues.
isn't initiated.
Is that all I am to you? A dossier?
Oh my! I'm sorry, that line.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
His delivery was a little flat
You're
too.
someone who does what's right.
I feel like whoever's playing Thornton is
That's
trying
all I
to
need. Thanks, Mina.
You
like
got it.
blank slate
Call
him
me
a bit.
anything else.
Yeah, well, that would be beneficial. He's a protagonist that you're making choices for, so you want someone like that. But in certain areas, you want that. There's an assumption of behavior.
Yeah, yeah, especially given how many different attitudes Thornton can take throughout the game. So here we are. We're gonna bug this airfield and see if we can find out when the bad guy Nasri is gonna show up.
That detection cone felt very Metal Gear. The way it was how they're so visible, like the one down there.
Yeah, yeah. The cameras, you can't break them either. It'll just set off the alarm.
Good.
Any way around it?
For
I had
that,
a little trouble getting on that ladder for a moment.
Aside from the panel on the gate itself, but
Walking
it looked like you had to
it'll leave me
really
exposed.
be
Got
facing it.
Yeah.
Might be able to find a way over it.
Context-sensitive controls, I don't care for them.
I think you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I feel like it's used alright in this game, but it's one of this game's rough edges. You definitely want to watch out for this guy because you can easily see you get up this ladder.
Oh yeah, I see him there now.
Yeah. And you definitely want to take out these guys who are up here because they will see you running around if you don't deal with them first.
That's their job.
Yeah. I was a little concerned about this guy's walk cycle, and of course the camera cuts off your clear path to him.
So, did you take one of multiple sneaking routes? It kind of looks like that.
Yeah, you can go around to the right as well, but it's the harder one to pull off.
I guess moving through the middle here would be almost impossible if you hadn't dealt with that guard.
Yeah, it's more for the run and gun guy. You know, usually there's a clear stealthy path and there's a clear shooty path. And in this level, the stealthy path will take us up, and the shooty path would have taken us through.
Really digging the ambient music still. Like it's appropriate, but it isn't. It's not overwhelming. Does it kind of speed up when things get more actiony?
Oh yeah,
Cool.
It switches to a whole other song basically. It can be tough to know that you can leap there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem it. Normally in a game, I'm not used to being able to move past a ladder like that in such a small space.
Yeah, they're so close together, the icon's easy to miss, but this is definitely the way to do it. You can bypass all this shit.
Oh yeah, wow.
So this next part gave me a little bit of trouble. You will see the circle wipe of failure.
I see.
That indicates where I've edited out failed attempts. I may do some failure reel stuff later, but we'll see. These guys are Nasri's elite guards, and you don't have to take them out, but if you do, they will not be in the final mission for this chapter. And then you won't have to deal with them then.
I like that.
One less thing to worry about later.
I'm glad there's so much pathing and detail. Like it does lend to the choices feeling impactful in that regard.
Yeah. Later on, Intel will make more of a difference for that too. This place is a little difficult to navigate in spots. You'll see there's another circle wipe. That was just me fucking around, not knowing where this door was.
Was that just to speed it up then, or?
Yeah, just because I was
okay.
like walking around in circles. But
The camera-
yeah, you can go the other way over this fence. So
Does the camera feel tight when you play? Because it often feels like it's getting in pretty close to the character.
the camera feels alright, but it's definitely not something you want to do with a mouse. I'm buying another point of stealth here, and it gives me the evasion skill. Evasion is automatically activated if its cooldown is ready, when you are seen by a guard. So it makes you invisible for just a moment, which kind of lets you get away from one mistake, but its cooldown is long, so
Good job.
it basically gives you a very slim margin of error for stealth.
It's a mulligan.
Yeah, and if you try to use it as a weapon, it won't work out usually.
So it's not something you're trying to plan around. It's just a backup.
Yeah, it makes you if you didn't know that a guard was there and it suddenly activates, you're like, oh shit, there's someone I didn't see. So it's useful. This place is really annoying if you don't trank these guards. But it's kind of cool that you have this verticality opportunity here.
Seeing a proper mission now, it really does feel like somewhere between Deus Ex and Metal Gear.
Yeah, and
The gameplay, anyway.
that is really cool to me. It's basically everything I've ever wanted. I'm a big fan of both, so...
So, and slapping a Splinter Cell kind of Tom Clancy story on top of that is very pleasing to me, so...
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that kind of... It's an almost imperial love of the American military, and it's so genuine in Tom Clancy's work that I really love it.
That guard up there on the tower, this is one of the towers that you can't deal with ahead of time. It's very easy for him to see you creeping between those cement blocks. I had to repeat that one a bunch of times, too.
Ooh.
He's actually why I bought the evasion skill, because, yeah, you can get past him with the evasion skill.
That feels... It comes across as an intentional design decision to have your skill point kind of line up with a section that you could make use of it in that way.
Yeah, you might already have it a long time ago if you didn't play as a rookie, but if
I'm sorry, I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, if you're playing as a rookie and you're not dumping all your points into stealth, you're fucking up.
Well, it's your primary job, even if you want to shoot people.
Yeah, and a lot of the stealth skills, like silent running, just come in handy anyway. And awareness, like, it's always good to know where the guys you want to shoot are, whether you're stealthing around or not. Yeah, there's a lot of these little hidden money bags and stuff. Some of them have dossiers, some of them have equipment and ammo. And the missions are littered with them. It's easy to miss some of them.
Oh, that looked like it was going to be a jump point. Is this a drop attack?
Yeah, I'm just being careful here because I know there's a guy right there.
Ah.
I am going this way, but it's gonna come back around. So
Nah.
there's the circle fade of failure once again. I had to redo this a bunch of times, but it's a long checkpoint, and it's basically the climax of this area. So
You're not able to work from quick saves?
no quick saves.
Oh, I see a clipping palm frond.
Yeah.
Let's pretend we didn't see that.
This game has its rough edges, but I'm
Yeah,
willing
I
to
know.
forgive it in a lot of cases.
Well, just for having like an actual story and branching speech that's enough for me in almost anything.
Yeah.
I'll forgive a lot more when it comes to the rest of the quality of. Case in point being New Vegas.
Especially, like, this game has stealth gameplay that I find really fun, and it can be frustrating because it's difficult, but, you know, it's the good kind of frustrating. It's the Mega Man kind of frustrating.
That's the same argument for Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It's the repetition is fun because you want to beat it.
So there's where evasion kicked in. And when you see me do that throat punch as my, like, what would you call that, takedown animation?
Yeah, CQC.
Yeah, that means that I just barely got it in, right? Like, he saw me, but I punched him in the throat before
To stop
he
him from
could-
yelling.
Yeah. So that's like, I just barely accomplished that if you see that animation.
It seems you found the Al-Samad flight records. Can't wait to analyze these.
So yeah, you can not go down here.
Another little touch of the Metal Gear was having the ammo fly out of him when he hit the ground.
Yeah. That's very video gamey.
I love those touches. I miss them in more realistic games often.
Yeah. Up there is the end of this mission. Unfortunately, this guy shot his gun, but nobody else was around to hear it. Not down here. He was the last guard on this floor, so
Lucky.
yeah. I had to punch him the hard way. So I
Maybe you
didn't
shouldn't-
ghost this mission, but fuck it.
I've been playing through Dishonored recently and getting very frustrated. Bodies fall through the geometry. I can't tell if it's my GPU or just something normal in the game. But I want to hide a body to get the perfect, and there it goes.
Yeah.
But if I can ghost something or do a non-lethal run, or preferably both, I will always aggressively repeat the mission until I can get it.
I had already repeated this mission a few times, so
Yeah,
when the one guy saw me but it didn't set off an alarm, I was like, okay, this is a no alarms run instead of a ghost run now.
just a little bit of revisionism.
Yeah. But I'm okay with that. I'm glad that on hard these early missions are challenging me
Now get out of
enough.
there.
So yeah, and then you get the end of mission statistics. Some of your actions have effects that go into future missions because I got the flight records. That adds some intel to the goings on here in Saudi Arabia.
No orphans, luckily. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that stat. It's really good.
Mike,
It's really
see you back,
satisfying.
all right?
It's just
Nothing on the
mean.
channel
It's
about any disturbances. Well done.
Get in, get out. They see me coming.
I
already
can just imagine somebody's first time seeing it, They've been, shotgunning their way through the game and they see,
oh
like,
my god.
Orphans Made 11 and they just go,
Should be easy.
oh,
I don't think she
my
Not-
actions have consequences.
is the bug
It helps underline what the developers intend to be the preferred playstyle.
Exactly. And I just love being able to say no orphan run about this game.
That's
Will
the
do.
preferred run.
Good job.
Yeah. So another level up here. We're going to max out stealth, and that's going to give us the master awareness skill, which means our radar will always be on. And you want to
It's
get
very-
that as early as possible.
Incredibly useful.
Yeah.
He's just sending out psychic thought particles to feel where they are.
Yeah. he's just so canny about how these things work that
It's like Metal Gear. It's like, how come the enemies can't detect Snake's radar or see his radio?
yeah.
Like you have to have that.